The shadow is a term used in psychology, specifically associated with the famed Swiss psychoanalyst and psychiatrist Carl Jung. He possessed one of the most profound minds that has ever existed and doubled as a philosopher. He can easily be given an enlightened master's title like the Buddha, Lao Tzu, Plato, or other awakened teachers of the past, and modern Western psychology is built upon Jungian psychology as its foundation. To say his research had a profound impact on psychology would be an understatement. Some people tend to pronounce his name as Jung or Jungian concerning his work. Pronounce it how you want. Jung was far more than just a psychologist. He immersed himself in many different spiritual practices. He gained knowledge while traveling the world and dedicated his life to inner work. But he was also very grounded in mainstream academia as well, with one of his teachers being the esteemed and often misunderstood Sigmund Freud, the famous Austrian neurologist and founder of psychoanalysis that some consider to be the father of psychology itself. His invention, psychoanalysis, is a clinical method for treating psychopathology through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalyst. However, they did eventually split over disagreements, which is sad because for the longest time, Freud considered Jung to be his heir, his replacement, his successor. But nothing could stop Carl Jung from taking his own path of individuation. The term shadow work has been thrown around in social media, with most people kind of scratching their heads when they encounter it. Many think it refers to something dark and evil since it has the word shadow in it. However, performing shadow work couldn't be farther from the truth. It's essentially just individuation, becoming a full person. The shadow is a natural part of all conscious beings, and it's there as your lifelong companion, whether one is aware of it or not. The ego is only associated with the conscious mind, and this part of us we're familiar with is actually just the tip of the iceberg. The fact is, the majority of how we look at ourselves with the conscious mind is largely delusional, and unconscious impulses drive the majority of our lives. A good analogy for people unfamiliar with the shadow is this. There is a hero and villain in every story. In your story, you are both. Many societies program us from birth to think that we are solely the conscious ego, which couldn't be more of a lie. Inside us, many warring factions pull the strings of our behavior without us ever knowing it. The subconscious mind governs 95 to 98% of our lives. Yet we have little knowledge of its influence while we go about our daily, day-to-day life. Your fears and darkness are never detached from you. The shadow is always there, and it always will be. In truth, someone with no relationship with their shadow cannot truly be a complete human being. Through social conditioning, we construct and live through a facade. But at the same time, the shadow is not something pleasant to confront if one has lived most of their life unconsciously. Our constructed ego makes us feel safe and familiar, giving a semblance of control in a world where chaos and change are the only guarantees. A person is only as free as the mind allows, and much of our limitations are self-imposed, even subconsciously through the shadow. But just what is the shadow? Is there any tangible, objective label we can put on it? Well, like anything concerning the higher nature of reality, there's no straightforward answer to that, and it's far more complex than may seem at face value. The shadow is essentially aspects of ourselves that we suppress. It's an aspect of our consciousness below the conscious radar, yet has an incredibly powerful influence. There's nothing more frightening than confronting the deep aspects of ourselves we've always repressed, but then again, there's nothing more rewarding or beneficial. The term projecting is associated with the shadow. So whenever you hear somebody saying that, "Oh, you're projecting," or "stop projecting," they're actually unknowingly referring to the shadow. This hidden aspect of ourselves can take over without us even knowing it, which is where the term projecting comes from. It's not conscious. It's when a person is accusing another of something that they themselves embody and do all the time, but they reject that part of themselves and deny it and repress it. Deep within our unconscious minds lives our shadow selves, which hold on to all of our repressed secrets and desires, because nothing we repress ever actually is lost from our psyche. It's the shadow that controls a vast majority of our personal beliefs, actions, likes, dislikes, and words we use. Moreover, many of these things are placed within us from exterior sources, not interested in our benefit. We all have delusions of a code of conduct to, quote, be a good person, with beliefs, values, and opinions revolving around that idea. People out there won't even interact with some people because they don't share their views, essentially categorizing them into the bad person label. You know the type. Those that stand up on a moral high ground and zealously denounce others for not mirroring their indoctrinated narrative. The sad reality is that these people are the most damaging type of people globally and historically, and these attributes are projections of the shadow. The irony is that to help others and help the world, we must first accept ourselves and do the inner work to become whole and awakened human beings. Only then can we see anything resembling objectivity in the world. Whenever a strong belief is created in one's consciousness, the unconscious will filter out things that contradict their opinions. This has been called confirmation bias or knowledge filtration, and actually actively inhibits objectivity. Doesn't matter how many facts there are, doesn't matter how much evidence there is, that person cannot see it. A large number of human beings are literally incapable of seeing things from other people's points of view. If it goes against their already accepted paradigm, then their shadow will strike. The majority of people cannot confront the possibility that they're wrong in many situations concerning their beliefs or anything else, and this goes throughout their entire lives, and their shadow will go to extreme measures to prove that they are right and true to themselves and others. So after hearing that, you may never bother arguing with people on social media ever again. Because why waste time debating someone that is incapable of comprehending things beyond the tiny worldview they've accepted as reality? At that point, you're only feeding the machine. Though everybody is different, everybody's shadow is different, and there's always exceptions to every rule, this is not meant to be an overall end-all be-all type of thing. Just speaking in generalities and not picking on any paradigm out there. However, in saying that, if what I said just offended you, you might have some shadow work to do. The shadow is our dark side. Most shadow attributes are primordial and raw, and primitive emotions that are connected to our survival throughout humanity's evolution over millennia. The shadow is all the repressed aspects of our personalities. Many aspects make up a human being. We are not the ego and the conscious mind, but many parts of consciousness invisible to waking awareness. Everyone wears a social mask, has an ego, a persona, a conscious and a subconscious. There is so much more to a person than their daily thoughts, and many aspects of who we truly are lost and repressed in the shadow. However, just because the shadow is the dark aspect of ourselves, it doesn't mean that it's entirely negative, because the shadow contains positive traits as well. Incredibly powerful positive traits. There are many talents and abilities incredibly beneficial to our daily lives that are locked away in the shadow. For example, an unconfident person with low self-esteem has a shadow analogous to Napoleon and is secretly a confident genius incapable of being stopped. Somebody with social anxiety has a shadow that's incredibly charismatic and profound and powerful and outgoing. If integrated back into the conscious awareness, many of these shadow aspects lead to dissolving a person's problems and limitations, because many of the issues and problems we have in our daily lives are caused from the shadow. Everything we deny in ourselves throughout our lives becomes an aspect of the shadow. To gain social acceptance, we learn to deny parts of ourselves very early in life, such as traits shown in childhood that receive ridicule when seen by adults, or the teasing of children on the playground about attributes found in opposition to what the other kids accept as normal. Early in our lives, we learn to suppress these unwanted things that bring us scrutinization. However, All the parts we deny ourselves never leave us and actively become a part of our subconscious, our unconscious, and are integrated into the shadow. These shadow attributes can be socially taboo to utterly horrifying. We portray to the world what we think it wants to see and how we can be accepted for survival. We portray being kind, generous, fun-loving, cool, but doing so creates a monster within ourselves. Humanity's misguided narrative of good and evil leads to complete psychological imbalances within people, leading to a powerful shadow. It is essential to be offended. It is vital to be confronted with things that go against one's point of view. It is crucial to be opposed. To push such things away or try to suppress them only feeds the shadow. Once you begin to have a conscious relationship with the unconscious, a whole new, bigger world is revealed. Selfishness, greed, anger, jealousy, vindictiveness, hate, judgment, and all the negative emotions are a part of the shared human experience and are just as natural and relevant as any other positive emotions. One does not exist without the other, and to try and get rid of one just makes the other change form. To consciously accept some over others only builds imbalance within the psyche and causes the shadow to become stronger. These emotions are biologically programmed into us and instinctual, and we are supposed to experience them. This unconscious aspect of ourselves can ruin our lives through destroyed relationships, failed careers from self-sabotage, and an inability to take responsibility in life to handle required matters that bring us peace. The shadow self will actively sabotage our lives, leading to mental illness, addiction, depression, illness, low self-esteem, worry, social anxiety, among many more self-destructive attributes. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Too much spirituality revolves around love and light and denial of negative things in all forms. This is toxic positivity and a form of escapism. But it's possible to take back power over one's unconscious and gain profound empowerment, and that's through shadow work, through individuation. Shadow work is the process of becoming aware of the shadow's existence and reabsorbing it back into consciousness to become a whole person. No one likes to acknowledge their flaws and negative aspects, but they are key to individuation.
Thanks for watching. Did you know 80% of our viewers are not subscribed? If you enjoyed the video and think we've earned your sub, please help the channel grow by clicking the subscribe button. And don't forget to like and share to please the algorithm gods.